Hi guys, I have a Bible study I want to present to you. This is going to be kind of mumble jumble because I'm not very good at explaining this, because when my mind goes all crazy, I've got like all the stuff that I want to say at once. So I'm going to try and slow down to present this. So just please bear with me as I try to sit here and explain this. On November 29th, there was the article, of course, everybody has seen on the news and stuff, that the Sanhedrin invited 70 nations to the Hanukkah dedication of the altar for the third temple, right? Well, the third temple, we know what's going to happen. The Antichrist is going to reveal himself, okay? And it's a declaration to be read on the last day of Hanukkah, okay, which is about the 11th, and it begins around the 2nd and 3rd, depending on time zones, okay, which we know also is to usher in the Antichrist, right? Okay, so now, I'm going to jump down, to this. Let's see, it says in Daniel chapter 4, it says, Nebuchadnezzar the king, to all the people, nations, language that dwell on the earth, peace be multiplied to you. I thought it good to declare the signs and wonders that the Most High has worked for me. How great are his signs, how mighty his wonders. His kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, his dominion from generation to generation. And then he ended up having a dream. We're going to skip down to 10, where it says that as he was looking, there was a tree in the midst of the earth, and its height was great. And then you skip all the way down, and it's talking about how there was a watcher, a holy one, which we know is an angel, and there was 4 angels from the 4 corners of the earth. Okay, they come, one of them came down from heaven and said to chop it down off its branches and strip off its leaves, gather its fruit, okay, and let the beasts go out from underneath it, okay, and which is bound with iron and bronze, which is, okay, we were bound with what? The EU, the UN, Turkey, all them. And it says in verse 16, let his heart be changed from that of a man, let him be given the heart of a beast, and let 7 times pass over him. Okay, on August 21st, 2017 was the solar eclipse that crossed through America from Oregon straight down to the Carolinas. Okay, now on April 8th, 2024, it's going to be from the New York area on down. It's going to cross the other way in the X, okay, and that's exactly 7 years. All right, let's just, this is hypothetical things, but it's also more so what I have been led. Okay, you guys are going to disagree. A lot of people, I'm going to get a lot of backlash on this, and that's okay, because I'm not here to sugarcoat. But all right, this was in this happened, the solar eclipse, on the first year, of Trump's reign. Okay, and it says in Daniel, okay, I'm going to get there. And then it says, okay, that it will pass over, and Babylon, okay, is us, which we have committed the 7 abominations. Okay, we have committed the 7 ultimate sins, which is spoken of in Revelation. Okay, and it's X, 7 times. You get it? 7 times. All right, which is the crossover into the destruction. All right, which is the first year we had this, and then we had the where Israel became the capital, or Jerusalem became the capital of Israel, and then we have right now that the Sanhedrin had said this. Now this is going on into the 3rd year. Now Trump said that this peace announcement, it's already finished, it's completed, right? But it's not present, like it's not public, right? He said it's not going to be public till February. Okay, and it says, in the 3rd year of the reign of Jehoiakim, king of Judah, Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, came to Jerusalem and besieged it, took over, divided it. Okay, the peace agreement is what is going to divide the land. Okay, even though it gives them all, it is a covenant, which is not just with one, but it is with many. And like I said, it's already completed. It's already been established. This is just confirmation that everyone's going to be like, yeah, this will work. This will work for the 7 years. But in the midst of it, we know that Antichrist, he disables it. He, stops that. I'm trying to find this one verse. Okay. It's right. Nebuchadnezzar. Daniel. Alright, so chapter 5. Nope. Alright, so anyway, so all the nations. Alright, so we've got the beast system that's coming on. Daniel 5, chapter 19. Okay. It says, and because of the majesty that he gave, all the peoples, nations, language, trembled and feared him. Whomever he wished, he executed. Whomever he wished, he kept alive. Whomever he wished, he set up. And whomever he wished, he put down. Okay, this is talking about the beast, the mark of the beast that's coming, right? And then it says, but when his heart was lifted up, and his spirit was hardened in pride, he was disposed from his kingly throne, and they took his glory from him. Then he was driven from the sons of men. His heart was made like the beast, and the dwelling was with the wild donkeys. They fed him with grass like oxen, and his body was wet with dew of the heavens, till he knew that the Most High God rules in the kingdom of men and appoints it over whomever he chooses, right? So the Antichrist is going to come onto scene, which I do believe within, February or whenever this treaty is going to be announced. Okay, and if it be Trump who announces it, if it be him, if it be Kushner, if it be someone from the EU, whatever, okay, then this is going to come to pass, okay? And September 20th, 2016, the Temple Ark Baal was in New York, and that was also during the first year of Trump's reign, which is actually spoken of in the first chapter, when it's talking about Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego, how they made the ark, and then it was destroyed, whatever. All right, and it was exactly eradicated 9 months to the day of him being in office, okay? Daniel 3, 27, hold on, 28. Okay, now it says right here, Nebuchadnezzar spoke, saying, Blessed be the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who sent his angel, who delivered his servants and trusted in him, and they have frustrated the king's word and yielded their bodies, that they should not serve nor worship any god except their own God. Therefore I made a decree that any people, nation, language, which speaks anything amiss the God, the Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, shall be cut into pieces, and their house shall be made an ash heap, because there is no other God that can deliver like this. Alright, so what I'm trying to get at is Trump. He keeps saying, make America great again. Let's bring God back in this country. But it's an impossibility, because King Nebuchadnezzar was also a King Cyrus type. His heart was not on for God. Okay? He believed in God, just like Satan believes in God. He had uses from God, but his heart was not for God. Okay? Now, I want you to understand that. And then what was taken from the temple of King Solomon, which was also built, what was taken, what's in there is the covenant, the law. Okay, and that was October 18th, 2015, the temple was done, and it's 4 times bigger than the original, which was the Ark of the Covenant. The 10 Commandments was placed in there, as well as the menorah. Okay, and they're already talking about the third temple, and what's going to happen is they're going to bring the law back, because God promises to bring his people back to the land. Okay, Isaiah 9. Let's go here. There's a lot to cover here. Isaiah 9, and it says, Nevertheless, the gloom will not be upon her who is in distress, and when at first lightly esteemed, the land of Zebulun and the land of Naphtali, and afterward more heavily oppressed her by the way of the sea beyond the Jordan and the Galilee Gentiles, the people who walked in darkness have seen a great light, those who dwelt in the land of the shadow of death, upon them a light has shined. Okay, you have multiplied the nation and increased its joy. They rejoice before you according to the joy of the harvest, as men rejoice when they divide the spoil. For you have broken the yoke of his burden, and the shaft on his shoulder, the rod of the oppressor, as in the days of Midian. For every warrior's standard from the noisy battle of the guard rolled in blood will be used for burning and fuel of fire. Okay, you keep going on down, and it's it's talking about what's going to happen is the third temple eradicated. This is what this is talking about, is the third temple. And all the people, the 70 nations, are going to come together as one. Okay, they're all agreeing to this. Okay, and even God says that he's going to bring his people back, and that his hand is going to be stretched out for his people. And on December 2nd, okay, is, like I said, that is the beginning of Hanukkah. And Apollyon, which is the exact same mural that is on Trump's ceiling, which is Satan, is going to be in the celestial signs. All right, and it's also the third meteor of the year. That's the biggest meteor to pass by Earth as well. All right. Okay. So sorry about that distraction. All right. So then, we're going to say, Isaiah. I'm still in Isaiah, aren't I? Isaiah 14, which I did not read that. Okay, for the Lord will have mercy on Jacob, and will still choose Israel, and settle them in their own land. The strangers will be joined with them, and they will cling to the house of Jacob. Then people will take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel possess them for servants, maids in the land of the Lord. They will take them captive, whose captives they were, and rule over their oppressors. It shall come to the pass in the day that the Lord gives you rest from your sorrows, from your fear and your bondage, which you were made to serve, that you will take upon this proverb against the king of Babylon. Okay, and it keeps on going, and it's, okay, who ruled his nations in anger, okay? God's going to bring his people back regardless, but those who are sitting there waiting, all right, the whole point of this temple is to bring in the Antichrist, because the first time that all this was taken was for the first coming of Christ. This one is now for the coming of the anti-Messiah. They actually think that Jesus is coming and that he's going to rule with them, okay, which that is why there is this covenant. It's supposed to be peace, okay, but it's going to be the false peace, because the Antichrist is coming on scene. And so therefore the last day of Hanukkah is when that they are going to do the offering. And we know that the red heifer was born in Israel, but it's never been there for this time, and they are going to do a sacrifice that day, okay, which is no coincidence. And from December 11th to January 20th is exactly 50 days, and there's 50 years in a jubilee, okay, but if you subtract, okay, which is also exactly the third year of his rule, and it talks about in Daniel 4 that it is the 10th month. Okay, February, not the 10th month, the 12th month. Talks about the 12th month. Okay, and okay, how peace, it's all coming together. All right, peace, peace, peace. In the 12th month, which the 12th month would be considered February, because the 10th month is December. And so, if you subtract or add, okay, from December 11th, you add 10 days, that's 21, December 21st, which is the winter solstice, and from then to there is exactly 40 days, and we know 40 is judgment, and God gives us 40 days. That would give plenty of time for this new world order to set in due to the rapture. Am I saying 100% this is it? No, I am saying that the Sanhedrin that are doing this, okay, is going to usher in the Messiah and bring in this new world order and this false peace deal. Okay, which Ezekiel 36, 26, and 27, okay, which is talking about bringing back the covenant to the land, and the only ones that do that to keep God's people on track so that they don't fall away are the 2 witnesses. So therefore the 2 witnesses will come on scene, okay, during this timing for bringing back God's people to the covenant. Okay, I do not know the exact date, but I believe that there's a high chance that it is during this Hanukkah period, that all of this could be taking place. But we, as a whole, will not hear the publicity being publicly announced. And people are like, well, we're not going to know who the Antichrist is. Well, if you are born again, and you read Revelation 17, it specifically tells you who is what, okay, in this. And I don't have to state my opinion. I don't have to state what God gave me. I don't have to state anything, because that is why God says, study to find yourself approved. All right. And then I was talking on the phone to Princess Carly, and I was also talking to Christine Pence, which is Archangel Warrior, her channel. And as you know, I told her, she was like, wow, prophecy's coming to pass. It was exactly 2:22 California time. Okay, and that is when this word was said. So it is complete confirmation that what God has showed me within this timing, this is a high possibility of what is going to happen. The 70 nations coming together, God's coming back to his people, his hand's going to be there, but judgment will come, period. But in the midst of everything, God is also going to protect his people, okay? Because he says that anyone who comes against the apple of my eye, I will smite them, okay? Babylon's going to come against, all these nations are going to come against Israel. But God says, no, I'm going to protect you. Like Revelation 12, I'm going to take you into the wilderness and hide you for 3.5 years, okay? Which is the same timing that the Antichrist gets 42 months to continue. So pray over this as always, and I hope I didn't confuse people too much. I'm still working on some more stuff because I know I didn't say everything that I wanted to say, because every time I get done with a video, I have more to say. So God bless you all, and you guys have an excellent evening.